Living in the Midwest for the early part of my life, the thought of snow-capped mountains was never something I could conceptualize. It wasn't until our move to Washington State back in 2006 that the beauty of the outdoors truly hit home, not only for myself, but also my parents. Growing up, my dad had routinely spoken about visiting and one day living in Alaska, to be in the wild, free, and vast landscapes of the last frontier. A place with so much history and culture that truly redefined a way of living. Though in 2014, 1 week before my college graduation, I received news of his passing. A loss that still holds strong to this day. I remember driving home on a clear sunny day back in Washington, and off in the distance stood Mount Rainier. My dad, with subtle humor, said, "You know, when I'm no longer here, you're gonna have to take me up there someday." On July 20th, 2018, I fulfilled that promise and stood on the summit of Mount Rainier at 14,410 feet. Fast forward to now, there is still another promise yet to be fulfilled, bringing him to Alaska for his final resting place. Over the next 15 days, my mom and I, or otherwise known as Camp Chef Mom, will be embarking on the trip of a lifetime. We've set our agenda to visit places both known and lesser known, all while having a deeper meaning as to why we are there. Helping to make this trip a possibility are the owners of Alaska Overlander, both Craig and Brooke. They have set us up for success by having 2 turnkey rigs ready for the adventures ahead. Mom will be taking the keys to the 2021 Toyota 4Runner, otherwise known as Beluga, receiving its name after the social and playful mammals that call Alaska home. Beluga is outfitted with all you'd expect of an overland rig, including drawer systems for various gear, a drop-down fridge, upgraded tires and suspension, and a very comfortable sleeping setup. For me, I'll be receiving the keys to a familiar rig of a 2021 Toyota Tacoma known as Nenana, named after the 140-mile-long Nenana River, which forms on the eastern boundary of Denali National Park and Preserve. This rig is in a class of its own, with a spacious drawer system, RSI Smart Cap canopy for gear management, a 14-gallon water tank with a 12-volt pump, and the most crucial for me, the Red Arc dual battery system, making charging of production gear a breeze while on the road. For the next 2 weeks, we'll be living full-time out of these vehicles and calling them our home as we travel the thousands of miles exploring the many wonders Alaska has to offer. I invite you to ride along as we share our first-time experience in this land and fulfill the promises as a family. Welcome to the beginning of our adventure to Alaska. Over the next few hours, we'll be flying over 1,400 miles into Anchorage, getting a massive jump start to our trip. While we would have loved to make the drive up, We unfortunately are not blessed with full-time travel or have the endless gas and time budgets, though we are open to conversations in that department. With using 2 weeks of vacation, we are able to make the comfortable journey up and dive right into the adventure with making our initial stop at Alaska Overlander. Upon picking up the keys to our new temporary homes, Craig was kind enough to give a full walkthrough of the rigs and showcase all the gear that comes included with each rental. I was personally excited to try out some new features, as well as use some that I have prior experience with.
It's got to be in neutral, and then you move it across this way and forward.
Yeah.
And then once you're in four-wheel drive low, then you have access to all the buttons.
Yes, thank you.
Little tie table too in here, just in case you're off of cell phone range. And then just a couple of activity guides and everything else here.
With keys in hand, our next stop was groceries. Between 2 fridges and plenty of storage space, this would be our one main stop for the whole duration of the trip. For 3 meals a day, Camp Chef Mom was able to average about $50 per day between the both of us. Granted, we would plan to splurge in towns for getting a nice meal and enjoying the local eateries. After a long day of travel and getting later in the evening, it was now time to find our first night's camp. Just nice and easy through the trees there. The next morning was a quick pack down of camp, followed by briefly exploring the general area. It was easy to say that the bar was set high even after only spending one night here in Alaska. Today, however, was a big day. Something we have planned well into our initial itinerary and would be a first-time experience for both of us. Well, good morning and welcome to day 2 of our 15-day trip here in Alaska. We figured we'd start this trip off right by doing a helicopter tour that's going to take us to a couple different spots along the Glacier. And honestly guys, this is going to be a first for both of us, as neither of us have been in a helicopter before and going to be able to stand on a glacier here in Alaska for the first time. So I am beyond excited and I cannot wait to share this with you. So we got to the spot here a little early just so we can kind of get everything situated, check in and do all that good stuff. But the views so far have been amazing. The weather is actually cooperating with us a little bit. Alaska's been getting quite a bit of rain here lately, so now that we're here, it's a little bit partly cloudy, so fingers crossed that it stays that way for the remainder of the afternoon. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm beyond excited and I cannot wait to show this to you guys. So stay tuned and let's see where the afternoon takes us. Words truly could not express the feeling of being in this vast and wild landscape, witnessing lakes, glaciers, waterfalls, and wildlife. Something I could have only imagined from the images of others before. To say we were fortunate for having the incredible weather of blue skies and sunshine like we did would be an understatement. Of the 3 landings during the trip, our final would be touching down on the Nick Glacier. At over 600,000 years of age, this glacier now spans at 25 miles in length, 5 miles wide, and an average of 200 feet thick, making it one of the largest glaciers in south central Alaska. I'm speechless. This is only day 2. My goodness, this is incredible. Like, I don't have any other words to describe it. Alaska, beautiful day on a glacier. This is just amazing. What a life experience. I checked off a few bucket list items today. Wow. Our return trip back to base was just as exciting. Mom took the passenger seat up front to witness the surreal views firsthand. I have to give our pilot Shane kudos and thank you for a job well done, making this experience one of a kind and one that will be remembered for a lifetime. P.S. You certainly have the dream job here in Alaska. Now that was an amazing adventure. I think we definitely checked off a couple bucket list items today.
Yeah, that was one for the books.
I have never seen anything so spectacular in my life. I don't think there's words.
There's definitely not, and I'm glad we could experience it as a little mother-son experience. So super cool. I'm very happy we did that. But let's go ahead and find camp, and then we will see where the evening takes us here.
Right on, let's do it.
Short people problems. Tippy toes. Heck yeah, absolutely. We gotta let the people know that on a lifted 4Runner, for people under, what are we, 5'5"? 5'5". That it's a little hard to deploy the tent. There you go. You got it. Well guys, so after wrapping up the incredible helicopter tour, we actually started to head north up through Palmer, and then we're currently in the very beginning of Hatcher's Pass. With it kind of being late in the evening here and dinner time kind of being among us, we decided not to go through all the random trails through the area or further into Hatcher's Pass on finding camp. We actually found I would give it, a decent rating for a parking lot campsite here. It is adjacent to some hiking trails, but they do allow you for $5 a night to go ahead and park your rig and camp. So the views are still great, it's just you are sharing it, but it's not a big deal. If anything, this sets us up for success the following day, because as you may be able to see behind me, there is the Independence Mine, and that is one spot we definitely want to check out for tomorrow. So this puts us in a great position to do so, and then we can go ahead and complete the pass from there and then venture on the following day. So if anything, we have camp all set up. We're just going to hang out a little bit, enjoy the views of the stunning 360-degree views here for the beginning of Hatcher's Pass, and just call it an evening. But overall, incredible day, absolutely incredible. Next time on Promises Fulfilled. I think it goes, what, a mile?
Mile and a quarter.
Mile and a quarter.
About halfway there.
Halfway there. I'm a little out of breath. But all kinds of grizzly bear sightings.